What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours, where there is a lot of big topics to discuss. Firstly, Xavi has made his opinion very clear to the board on what signings he wants in the final month of the transfer window. He wants a creative midfielder, number 10. He wants a right back, and he possibly wants another forward. We have an update on all three of those position signings, who could come in. For the forwards, an update on Vitor Roque coming in early, Joao Felix, Jeremey Doku, Yana Carrasco. For the right back position, we have big updates on both Cancelo and Fresneda and how advanced both their operations are. That's right, we could be signing both. In the number 10 position, we do have an update on the signing of Bernardo Silva, where Xavi is pushing hard for him, and the club are starting talks with Man City. But of course, with players coming in, players who have to leave the club this summer, we do have an update on the situation of Ousmane Dembele, which hopefully looks set to be completed in the next few days. But also, along with Dembele, the club are planning on 3 other exits that they want to seal in the next week. Firstly, Sergino Dest. Looks like for him it will be a contract termination. Secondly, Franck Kessie, there's interest from Tottenham and Juventus. He will most likely join one of those clubs. Let's hope Barcelona can get the right price. Third and lastly, Clement Lenglet. As we all know, Barcelona have been talking a lot with Tottenham over recent months for Lenglet. Looks like that would not happen, but a new team has emerged as an option for Lenglet, and they're willing to pay a transfer fee. Not a big transfer fee, but just some money, and that team is Al Nassr, the team of Ronaldo from the Saudi League. We also have an update on the future of Abde and how Xavi is pushing for him to stay, and also some updates in regards to Barcelona's economic lever that they want to activate to bring in 65 million euros to help with registration, and also some rule changes in La Liga for the upcoming season in regards to time being added on at the end of each half. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now, we're first going to be discussing Barcelona's pursuit in the right back position, which at the moment is an absolute clear priority for Barcelona, as of course the departure of Ousmane Dembele is imminent, and that right hand flank is going to be wide open. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona are expected to give at least one more try to sign Joao Cancelo by using part of the Ousmane Dembele fee. Otherwise, they will complete the Fresneda deal, which is already advanced with Real Betis. And also, Mateo Merito from Relevo came out saying that Barcelona's plan is to go for Joao Cancelo following Dembele's sale. They will not close the Fresneda deal while they have a chance to sign Cancelo. Xavi's priority is Joao Cancelo, but others in the board prioritize Fresneda. Of course, other in the board is Deco. Yesterday, Barcelona and Betis brought their positions closer, but there is no total agreement yet. Barcelona want to tie up Fresneda, but after seeing how the pieces move, Cancelo is a possibility. So it looks like before Dembele's departure, they were going to go for Fresneda, but now with Dembele leaving, they might go with the higher profile right back. And you just think about Cancelo and Rafinha on the right hand side, they can cook up something big. Now, following the match against AC Milan, the rumors of Cancelo have been picking up very heavily. Firstly, Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Xavi is still insisting on Joao Cancelo because of the proven quality, him playing at both left back and right back, and having international experience. Moreover, his situation at City is vulnerable, and his agent is Jorge Mendes, who of course, great relationship with Joan Laporta in Barcelona. Also, Cancelo is willing to join Barcelona, so much so that he is willing to reduce his salary to be able to join Barcelona. Jorge Mendes had let Barcelona know about this option of signing him is feasible, and that's why Xavi insists on signing him on loan. Now, there are reports coming in from Spain Sport, so take it with a pinch of salt, saying that the total cost of Joao Cancelo on loan for one season is 24 million euros. 10 million euro loan fee, and then 14 million for his salary. Very similar fees. So of course, Joao Felix, who's also a 1-year loan. Of course, add the two, I'm all over Joao Cancelo, no doubt about that. Apparently, a buy option will be included for around 40, so we'll have to wait and see what the final figures could be. I'm hoping Barcelona don't pay more than 5 million euros for a loan fee and cover his salary with a buy option in there. I understand if they do a loan. I think buying Cancelo not only is risky, but also very complicated to reach an agreement with Man City. They want around 40-50 million euros for Cancelo. To be honest, no one's in the market for it. And what did I say a few days ago. I think Barcelona are going to wait this out. They're going to wait till the last week or so in the market when Man City want to sell. Pep wants him out of his squad, and Barcelona are the only suitors. Now, the rumors about Joao Cancelo joining Barcelona are picking up also from England. TalkSport, who are kind of, a medium source, have come out saying that Barcelona are now in official talks with Manchester City for Joao Cancelo. They prefer to sell him permanently. So again, Barcelona, I think, are looking at a loan, but will be open to a permanent move if the conditions are feasible and seem right. Whereas, of course, Man City do want to sell him, and they're not really looking for a loan. There also are reports coming in from the Portuguese press as well, saying that Cancelo closer and closer to Barcelona. There is talks going on between Man City and Barcelona, and there almost is an agreement as well. So we'll have to wait and see what the conditions are of this agreement and of this deal. I think if we get Cancelo on loan, I wouldn't rule out Barcelona signing Ivan Fresneda. I think that option is still there to sign Fresneda and then loan him out for the season. The next summer, when Cancelo's loan is over, maybe he does not do well, we send him back, and then you have Julian Araujo and Fresneda both coming back from their loan spells. I think that is definitely an option, since Deco is absolutely purely obsessed with Ivan Fresneda. That might be a possibility, so we'll wait and see. But no doubt Barcelona 100% from now until the end of the window are going to sign a right back, and it's going to be one of these two players in Cancelo or Fresneda, with Cancelo being the manager's favorite. Now, along with Joao Cancelo, another Portuguese player from Manchester City who Xavi is desperate and is pushing so hard and insisting on signing, it is, of course, Bernardo Silva. Now, Mateo Morito from Liga has come out saying that for who Barcelona and Xavi like the most is Bernardo Silva on replacement Ousmane Dembele, who has stopped a possible move to PSG as he would like to play in Spain. So, of course, we heard a lot during the summer that PSG, Bernardo Silva were in talks, but those talks now are completely off. Right now, Joao Felix is not a priority for Xavi, and neither is Carrasco at the moment. So, all roads lead currently to Bernardo Silva being Xavi's favorite and also Barcelona's favorite. And Mateo Morito also came out saying that from Barcelona, they will work to get Bernardo Silva to join the club this summer. This operation is going to be near impossible. Now, I was thinking about this in the live stream for the AC Milan match. I was thinking in my head while the game was happening, if we can get Cancelo and Bernardo Silva both on permanent deals for 100 million euros, that's not bad. And then someone mentioned it in the chat, so I'm going to mention it here in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on 100 million euros for both Cancelo and Bernardo Silva on a permanent transfer. You can split it how you want it. 70 for Bernardo, 30 for Cancelo, 20 for Cancelo, 80 for Bernardo, however you want to, see it from your point of view. But I don't think Man City would take that. I think they want 100 million for Bernardo Silva and then another 40 or 50 for Joao Cancelo. But I would do many things for Barcelona to sign Bernardo Silva this summer, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think the deal is too complicated in a very short amount of time, just under a month of the window closes, and also Man City are really keen on keeping him. They want to give him a renewal, and then the only way this deal will advance is if Bernardo Silva puts in an official transfer request, tells Pep, I want to go to Barcelona. I do not want to play for your team anymore. If he says that, I think the transfer can definitely happen, but with him not saying that, it leaves the door open, because of course Bernardo Silva, he's comfortable in Man City but doesn't want to try that new experience. He does not want to really push for a move, because if he ends up staying at Man City, he's happy to do so. So we'll wait and see, but we all know that Xavi and Barcelona and Laporta, even Jordan Miro, very obsessed with Bernardo Silva. He would be a monumental signing, and Barcelona are working on it. We'll wait and see how things develop. Now, along with Bernardo Silva, another player who has emerged as an option to come in on the wings and replace Ousmane Dembele is Jeremey Doku, the winger from Rennes. Of course, Rennes is a former team of Ousmane Dembele, and there are reports coming in from France saying that Barcelona are competing with Man City for Jeremey Doku. City are in talks with the player, but Barcelona are very much interested in the running. Rennes value him at around 50 million euros. They have not received any offers yet. So with Mahrez leaving Man City, they are in the market for another winger. We heard that Rafinha was going to be a target, but now they've set their eyes on Jeremey Doku, and apparently Barcelona are sniffing around as well. I think Doku is a decent winger. I think he still has a lot of room to grow. I think for the price, though, he's the same price. I know Ousmane Dembele has 1 year left on his deal, but if you're comparing the prices, I think that's very expensive for Doku. I think he's more of a 30 million pound player. There's still a lot of room for growth for him, and I think Barcelona right now, if you're going to replace Dembele, you need someone who's going to come in now and perform now. You have those young wingers. You have already Abde who needs to grow, Ansu Fati. You can even make the argument for Ferran Torres. You can even make the argument for Rafinha. I think if the club do want to bring a pure winger to replace Dembele, it has to be someone who is well established and still has that little extra room to make that next jump to next level, not someone like Doku who's very, very young and still needs that big push. I think we already have that in Abde, so you don't need to have too many wingers with that same profile. So keep our eyes on it. I don't think there's really much in it. It's only coming in from France, nothing from Barcelona whatsoever, so we'll see if it materializes. But apparently Barcelona do have Doku on their list to come in as a possible winger. Now, another player who does have the very small but still an option to come in this summer for Barcelona to replace Ousmane Dembele as part of the attack, not really a direct replacement, but just another name or player you could say in the attack, is a player we've already signed this summer, and it is Vitor Roque. Of course, he is scheduled to join Barcelona in January of 2024 as his current club, Atletico Palmeiras, are still competing in their league. The Brazilian league is still going on right now, so their league is not finished, I believe, until I think October, if I'm not mistaken. So he would be coming in the January transfer market. But according to Javi Miguel from AES, FC Barcelona are very seriously considering bringing Vitor Roque this summer. When I saw this, I got goosebumps. I'm like, oh, please. It's so perfect to bring in the player that you already want to bring in. There's hopefully now there should be FFP space. But then now saying we have to wait and see what Joaquin Pereira says about this. Of course, Joaquin Pereira, #1 source in regards to Brazilian players coming to Barcelona, and he was all over and got everything spot on in regards to the Vitor Roque operation. And he came out saying that Vitor Roque's arrival at Barcelona now is conditioned by two things. One, having enough FFP margin, and secondly, Atletico Palmeiras agreeing to his exit now, which is very difficult. As for now, Barcelona neither contacted Roque's agent or the Brazilian club. So this is very much internal thinking at Barcelona. Again, they have to get the green light from Vitor Roque, from his current club as well. Then Javi Miguel followed up that report saying that if Atletico Palmeiras are eliminated from the Copa Libertadores before August 31st, and they've already lost their first leg 3-1, Barcelona will do everything to sign Vitor Roque now, and he wants to join now. So the Copa Libertadores, of course, is the biggest competition in Brazil, and they get knocked out, they really have nothing much else to fight for. So if that being said, they might give the green light for Vitor Roque. So watch this space. I don't know when the second leg is. I'm assuming it's before August 31st. So if that is the case, the club can make a move. Hear me out. Sign Bernardo. Sign Joao Cancelo. Bring in Vitor Roque. Oh, we are cooking. Oh, well, wait and see. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much. I see this as a very difficult, and you know, the media picking up on this, like, oh, Dembele gone, bring in Vitor Roque now. You know, Barcelona never said in the statement when he's joining. Technically, they did say they did say June 2024, but it's subject to basically whenever FFP allows it, and it's allowing it now. So we'll wait and see. Don't get your hopes up, but the club right now are thinking about bringing in Vitor Roque this summer. Now, the final attacker that we have been linked with to come in or replace, again, Ousmane Dembele in the attack, not a direct replacement, is Joao Felix. I still don't know how he's been linked with Barcelona, but he is nonetheless. Now, firstly, Juan Martínez come out saying that Joao Felix wants to join Barcelona, and some people at the club love him, though there is no consensus. I just want to throw this in real quick. I know I'm reading the report, but I don't think there's ever been consensus with any signing up. Every time I read something, no, it's consensus, no this. Anyways, Barcelona realized that he has a different profile to Ousmane Dembele, but his arrival is not 100% ruled out as of this current moment. But Franck Kessie Sport came out saying that Xavi and the coaches do not want Joao Felix because they understand that he does not offer what they need right now in the squad. Relevo then came out saying, this is not Juan Martí, this is other reports from Relevo saying that Barcelona have now ruled out the signing of Yannick Carrasco to replace Ousmane Dembele. Henry Codes from Cope came out saying that Joao Felix and Yannick Carrasco are both completely ruled out. They will not be joining Barcelona this summer. She's taking a big risk there. And then we got the news from Sport saying that Joao Felix will not be a direct replacement for Dembele, but to fulfill the objective of signing an attacking midfielder. Huh? So instead of bringing in Bernardo Silva, your next best thing is Joao Felix. Come on, man. As a replacement for Dembele, it's very difficult to sign someone with the same level of profile, and then Xavi would have to approve it. So Sport are still claiming that Barcelona is working on the signing of Joao Felix, as they see him as a attacking midfield signing because, of course, Xavi is asking for a number 10, and they see Joao Felix as someone who can occupy that role. Now, keep in mind, Barcelona, when Xavi does not give the green light to a player, they're usually never signed, and we already saw this summer in the case of Ruben Neves, and Javi Miguel from AS, who's very close to Xavi, came out saying that Xavi has already stopped the arrival of Ruben Neves when everyone took it for granted. Now everything indicates that he will do the same thing with another Portuguese player who is the same agent as Jorge Mendes. Of course, he's referring to Joao Felix. If Xavi does not want a player, I do not agree with signing him. I don't even care if it's... I was about to say Messi, but that's a bad example. Haaland. Let's say Barcelona can sign Haaland, and Xavi says, I do not want Haaland. You back Xavi. Where I think Xavi is wrong, abso-freaking-lutely, but then the blame is on him. How can a manager work in a team, in a system, when you're giving him players that he does not want? It just never works. So if Xavi is, saying no to Joao Felix, do not bring him in. Do not bring him in under any means necessary. Screw the favor for Jorge Mendes. It is simply not worth it. But Mateo Merito is still saying that Joao Felix of Barcelona is cold right now, but he personally thinks that it will heat up. What I think is going to happen is that Barcelona might make an offer to Atletico that's not on the cheap, but a reasonable offer. Of course, Atletico Madrid want their full amortization paid, full wages covered, and a loan fee. So they're asking probably 25-30 million just to borrow Felix for one season, which is ridiculous. You can buy Sofiane Amrabat with that money. I think what Barcelona are going to do is they're going to offer maybe a simple loan with wages covered and see if Atletico Madrid bite, because keep in mind the reports coming now from Atletico Madrid is that Joao Felix is depressed. No one's talking to him in the dressing room. He's basically just there on his own. He trains as a goalkeeper, all this stuff. So he's basically, screwed. So the club might just, I think what the club will do is just offer a simple loan, wages covered, see if Atletico Madrid bite. That's the only way I see Joao Felix coming in. If we have to, I don't see Barcelona giving to Atletico's demands and bringing Joao Felix. That's the only way I see him coming in. But Xavi, for me, still has to approve it. There's no point of bringing in Joao Felix if Xavi does not want him. So watch this space. I still think it's very, very unlikely, but it's still kind of on the table. There is now just under 1 month left of the summer transfer window, and Xavi is not currently happy with the squad. He still sees a few holes that need to be filled by the end of the transfer window, and Xavi has made this very clear to the board after the AC Milan match and following the Ousmane Dembele saga. Now, Franco Sport came out saying that Xavi has asked Barcelona to sign a top winger this summer to directly replace Ousmane Dembele, and the plan right now, according to Xavi Lemos, is that Barcelona want to sign an attacker, but it has to be a player who generates total consensus at the club. Now, also we have a report coming in from Javi Miguel from AES. He's come out saying that Xavi has asked Barcelona for immediate signings to reinforce the squad. Joao Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, and a forward are the three priorities for Barcelona this summer. This is coming in from Fernando Polo. Javi Miguel confirmed this, saying that Xavi is pushing a lot right now internally for Bernardo Silva and Joao Cancelo to join. The departure of Ousmane Dembele making the signing of Joao Cancelo possible. Xavi sees Fresneda as too inexperienced for big matches, and Barcelona will make a big effort to sign Bernardo Silva at some point this summer. So Xavi told the board, I want 3 players by the end of this window: a right back, a creative midfielder, number 10, and maybe another winger. I think that winger can be Vitor Roque. If we tell Xavi, can we bring in Vitor Roque now instead, will that help you with your winger solution here? I think he will agree to that. And again, Xavi's pushing for a right back. We've heard him talk after the match against AC Milan, and he did say following Dembele's departure, we do need a pure right back coming in. Keep in mind, we've had about 3 right backs. We've loaned out Julian Araujo. Dest is, I think, honest to God, I think I can do a better job than Dest. I think Dest might be a bit faster than me, but I think on the ball, I am clear of Dest. Anyways, Roberto just not up to scratch, and of course, Koundé, he was just so elite at center back this whole entire preseason. Literally, why take him out there? Now, the question is, can Barcelona make these deals happen? I think right now the focus is to get the final sales over the line. Hopefully, I would say before the Joan Gamber, but I doubt it. I would hope by the weekend of the league starting, we have all of our sales done. We'll talk about those sales, of course. Your Lenglets, your Dest, your Kessies, Ousmane Dembele as well. Hopefully, we can get those over the line by then. Then for the final few weeks, you focus on signings. I think the club have the capability and do have the fair play margin to sign Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, and another forward. It's just now trying to get Man City to barge. I think Man City are open to sign Cancelo. I think they'll make it not very easy in those negotiations, but they want what they want, and I think we will end up giving it to them. But from Bernardo Silva, I think it will be very difficult unless the player pushes for it. We'll have to wait and see how things materialize over the next few weeks, but again, Xavi's made his request very known to the board, and the board have never let Xavi down, and hopefully they don't start now. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. First up is your main man, Ousmane Dembele. Now, I'm not going to talk about him too much. I'm trying to save all my anger and all my rant and my frustration in that departure video that I'm waiting for. Quick update on Dembele. Again, we are hearing about this private clause being activated. Essentially, Xavi has confirmed after the match against AC Milan, Dembele wants to leave. He's told us that he wants to leave. I tried to convince him, but he said that he spoke to Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the president of PSG, and he also spoke to Luis Enrique, and there's no way to convince him to stay. Xavi accepted that. He said it's disappointing, but if any player wants to leave Barcelona, they have no right to stay whatsoever, and that's the reality. It's just now down to PSG and Barcelona working out an agreement, and the plan is to complete it before the Joao Gamper. I think at the best case scenario, by the end of this weekend, Dembele will join PSG. We are hearing again, we will not get more than 50 million euros, which I think is an absolute daylight robbery. I was hoping we would get 75, 80 million. I think that's a fair price for Dembele with 1 year left on his deal and for the player's ability as well. But this private clause and this clause, apparently I have a clause in there as well. I don't know. We're going to wait for the final fee, and then we're going to assess the situation, and then I'm going to give you guys my absolute full rant, and you do not want to miss it. I'm going to go in on Dembele. So again, he's 100% going to join PSG. The question now is when, and also how much will Barcelona be pocketing. Now, along with the exit of Ousmane Dembele, Barcelona are working on 3 other exits that are hopefully going to be done before the Joao Gamper. Best case scenario, I think worst case scenario, before the match against Getafe. One of those names is Clement Lenglet. Of course, Barcelona have been in a stalemate with Tottenham for months now, but there is another club interested in Lenglet. Thank God, and there are currently negotiations ongoing, and it is El Nassr, the team, of course, of Cristiano Ronaldo, Sadio Mane, and Marcelo Brozovic in the Saudi League. Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out breaking the news saying that Barcelona are currently negotiating with El Nassr for the departure of Clement Lenglet. Barcelona are in a hurry to get rid of the player who does not count upon and are finalizing Lenglet's exit to El Nassr, where he'll surely earn a high salary. Barcelona do not expect a big transfer fee, as the priority is to get rid of his high salary. Now, couple things. One, El Nassr, shukran, thank you. Second thing, I would get rid of Lenglet for free tomorrow. If we can just salvage any transfer fee, I will take it. At the beginning of the summer, remember I said I want at least 10 million for Lenglet. Now I'm saying I'll take anything. So even if we get a couple million, happy days. The most important thing again is getting rid of his contract, of his salary. That is absolutely absurd. Juan Martí confirmed the news saying that El Nassr are indeed an option for Clement Lenglet. Conversations are ongoing. Of course, nothing is agreed right now. Apparently, Lenglet is still umming and ahhing about El Nassr because he's still keen on staying in Europe. Broski, you're not good enough to stay in Europe's top teams. You want to go? Do you want to stay in Europe? You want to go to Aston Villa? You want to go to Everton? Fine by me. But if you want to go to a European side, you ain't it, bro. You ain't it. You did not step foot for a second in preseason for Barcelona. You think some other teams gonna take you in the Champions League? Wake up, smell the coffee, take the bag in Saudi, and be smart and move on and set your family for life. So, Wednesday with Lenglet, again, movements are being made. Praying to God this happens. I think it's a big move, great move for all parties. Barcelona get rid of a player, get a little bit of transfer fee. Not to get a decent center back, of course, for their league, for their standards. Lenglet moves to the beautiful country of Saudi Arabia, earns his bags, and plays with Ronaldo. Can't go wrong. So hopefully this deal gets over the line very, very soon. But we are now in concrete talks. This is concrete negotiations for the departure of Clement Lenglet. Now, the next departure that Barcelona are also lining up to finalize in the next week is the exit of Franck Kessie. Now, before I get into the report, we do have an update from Xavi on Franck Kessie, and the reason why he has not played in the Clasico and against AC Milan was because apparently he has slight discomfort. That is straight cap in my opinion, but this is what the manager is saying. He was then asked on Franck Kessie's future, what's his future, and Xavi says, do not worry, the player knows exactly how I feel about him, and he knows his exact situation. So those are the official words, but there are reports coming in saying that Barcelona are also speeding up the departure of Franck Kessie. Either Tottenham or Juventus looks set to be his destination. Again, Juventus are calling him every single day, trying to persuade him. We heard about the movers near his house. The Italian mover is near his house in Barcelona. I think hopefully he gets that move to Tottenham. It's a good move for him. Big six in England. And also that could hopefully help us with the Giovani Lo Celso operation in case the Bernardo Silva operation falls through. Because I think, again, we need a creative 10. We need a number 10 coming into the squad. I think Lo Celso, very, very good player, and we could help with that. And maybe, again, if the negotiations fall with Al Nassr, you can chuck in Lenglet in there, a little 2-for-1 deal. So, wait and see. I think if I were to make a prediction, I think he's going to go to Juventus. I think, back to Italy. He's comfortable there. It's a big club. Knows the country, knows the language. But I think Franck Kessie is also ambitious and wants to try something else. So I think if both teams made the right offer, I would bet on Kessie taking the Juventus offer. But I do hope he does go to Tottenham for, him. I'd love to see him play in the Premier League in that system. So we'll wait and see with Kessie. Again, hopefully the club get the right money for him. Since now we're not getting a huge fee for Dembele, I think at least 20 million fix for Kessie. You've got, even if it's on loan with the mandatory for 20 million fix, I'll take it. You have to get at least 20 million. If we go down to 15 for the Juventus fee, we're getting cooked out here. So hopefully we get the right fee for Franck Kessie, as his exit does look very, very imminent. Now, the final player that Barcelona are working for their departure is Sergino Dest, with currently the reports not looking too good. Barcelona are about to terminate the contract of Sergino Dest. According to reports, Xavi has told Mateo Alemán that he had to terminate Sergino Dest's contract because no club is interested in signing him. If I had a house league team, house league is like, local league, my local team here, I don't think I would sign Dest. I'm being serious. It sucks that you've come to a professional level playing for Barcelona and no team wants you. Not even on loan. No one's offering a loan or permanent. I think some clubs may take Dest for free. Free. There's no risk. He does well, fine, doesn't, and whatever. But loan, covering his salary and all this stuff, no one's interested. Union Berlin is out the window. Porto are out the window. No one wants Dest. We spent, what, 23 million euros on him? He's the reason why my channel blew up, for crying out loud. I owe this man a lot. But he's shite. I mean, my God. Oh, wait and see. I'm hoping there won't be a contract termination. I hope we can find a club where we can, move Dest for free and get a percent of future sale, buyback option, or whatever the case may be. I hope it's not a full contract termination, Martin Braithwaite style. But we'll wait and see. But Dest is very far out the exit door for sure. I think he was basically used on the tour to promote since he's American. I mean, he got his chance, did not take it whatsoever. Now, despite all the rumors about many players leaving Barcelona, there are some players who the club wants to keep. And one player that Xavi is very adamant on keeping is Abde Ezzalzouli. Now, for him, his future will be determined via a meeting happening very soon. Mateo Morito is reporting that there's a meeting scheduled to determine Abde's future. If he leaves Barcelona, he wants to join Real Betis, which I don't know. Betis, I don't think they can pay the money, first of all. Second of all, I don't even think they can register Abde. They just loaned out Collado to the Saudi League because they could not register Collado, who's probably like on what, 50 grand, 60 grand a week. Anyways, his priority is to get significant minutes for his development. Future will be clear this week or into next week. I think Abde will stay. I mean, if I'm Abde, right? I'm a promising winger with great talent, great 1v1 skill, which Barcelona lack a lot. You have a Ferran Torres who looking good on preseason physically. You have Ansu Fati looking sharp in preseason, but they both had terrible seasons last season, and it could happen again. And then you have Rafinha, who's pretty much set in stone to be a starter. I'm thinking if I'm Abde, what's the point of competing with the wingers in Betis where you compete with the wingers in Barcelona? It's the same competition, same level. Like, with respect to the club, at Betis. Who are the wingers at Betis? Like Juanmi, Luis Henrique. I think Canales got so I don't even know who the Fakir. No, he's like Cam. Anyways, maybe he'd be a starter at Betis, but he can compete at Barcelona, and he could, I think, by October, November, can definitely be a starter if he performs well. So I do see him staying. I think Xavi will push for him to stay, and I think the club will end up keeping him. I think unless an offer comes in 30 million euro plus, I don't know what Betis are offering, but 30 million plus, I think the club will definitely take it. Apart from that, I think he will end up staying, and I see Abde definitely staying at Barcelona for the remainder of, or for the entirety of the following season, and hopefully he gets the cheeky number 7 shirt as well. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is to give you guys some updates surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. One thing being a new rule change in La Liga. Now, before that, there have been reports about Barcelona's economic lever that they're going to, activate to get 65 million euros in with Germany media company that apparently fell through. Apparently, it hasn't fell through. There's just some negotiations still ongoing. So I don't want to touch on that too much with such a lack of information. So keep you posted on that. But one of the official rules you could say is that there have been some changes in regards to added time in La Liga next season. Cope is reporting that this season there will be extended added time as there was in the Qatar World Cup. So for every goal that is scored, there will automatically be 1 minute of added time to cover for celebrations and players coming back to the center and all this stuff. For each substitution, there will be 30 seconds added. So if you think about that, if a team makes 5 substitutions, that's already 2.5 minutes added. That's just for one team. So if Barcelona do 5 substitutions without Betis, that's 2.5 minutes. Betis do, I don't know why I use Betis as an example because we're just talking about Abde. Betis used 5 substitutions, that's another 2.5. That's 5 minutes of added time just for substitutions. And of course, minutes will be added for time wasting as there already has been. So expect big added times in the league coming up. Will be, half time will be like 7 minutes added time. So watch the space on that as there has been some changes. So of course, avoid time wasting. I think this is a good integration. Of course, when Barcelona face these low blocks team who just park the bus and waste time, it'll benefit us then, because Barcelona, we rarely waste time unless we're 1-0 Champions League semi-final. We won't waste time. So I think this benefits us more than other teams, and hopefully this rule change will be better for the sport. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want firstly, of course, is your thoughts on Xavi's targets for the remainder of the summer, being a right back, a forward, and a creative midfielder. Who do you think will come in? Who would you bring in? Your thoughts on the price, how much it will cost Barcelona, how many of them you think will be on permanent transfers, how many you think will be on loan transfers. Second, your thought on the entirety of the Ousmane Dembele saga, your thoughts on the fee and the thoughts of the current situation. Also, your thoughts on Abde hopefully staying, and finally your thoughts on those exits in Franck Kessie, Lenglet, and Dest, the 3 main ones currently the priority along with Dembele, and how much you think Barcelona will recoup in transfer fees from those 4 operations. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.